Hey everyone, it's Albie. Welcome back to my channel. I don't know about you, but I find that when September hits or like the couple days after Labor Day, I'm already sort of ready for the fall weather to sort of kick in. Now, I live in the southeastern part of the United States, so it never gets really too cold, but we do get pretty nice falls for our weather. Sometimes they're a little later than usual, but I have a feeling we might have an earlier fall this year. So that being said, I know that a lot of people, even people that aren't on BookTube or Bookstagram, a lot of people like to read more in the fall and winter more than the spring, summer. At least that's what's usually projected. And so I thought I'd come up with a fun sort of guide to some nice cozy fall autumnal books that you might enjoy, that I enjoyed. So these books might not necessarily have a fall vibe, but they have like the fall aesthetic. So I have some historical romances, I have some cozy mysteries, and I have a few like light-hearted thrillers that I think people would really enjoy. So I don't want to go too much into like spooky, scary books, but I do think a lot of people will enjoy the books Witch Please as well as the Ex Hex. I know those are really popular and they're both sort of lighthearted, witchy romantic comedies. I'll insert pictures of Witch Please and the Ex Hex over here so you can look at those. I haven't read them yet, but they are high up on my TBR. And all of my friends that have read these books have really loved them. And I just think they're going to give that really nice, cozy fall energy. Another series that I really enjoy in the fall are just those cozy mysteries. I really enjoy the Hannah Swenson mysteries on Hallmark. I don't know if they're still making them. I know they did an extra one when Cameron got out of his it was like the talk show on Hallmark that I really liked. I can't remember the name now. But after he left, they did another Hannah Swenson mystery. And the movies are called Murder, She Baked, but the books all have like a different dessert themed title. Like there's the apple pie mystery or murder, the strawberry shortcake murder. And so they all have sort of a dessert or theme that goes along with the books because the main protagonist is Hannah Swenson and she is a baker in her little small, I think it's Minnesota town. And you have all that fun Minnesota charm, which I really enjoy. Another series that I have also really enjoyed, I actually don't own any of the books because I did buy the first book and I read it so quickly that it just didn't like make sense to keep buying the series when I was reading a $15 book in literally about 3 or 4 hours because they're just so good and they're just really quick reads. And that is the Stephanie Plum series by Janet Ivanovich. They did make the first book into a movie, which is One for the Money, and that starred Katherine Heigl. And I really did enjoy that movie. And all the books, I don't think anymore, but a lot of the books were like a number. So one for the money, two for the dough, three to get deadly, four to score. And there was about 27 or so that had that number theme. And now I think they have a different theme, but they're still the Stephanie Plum books. I just don't think they're in a numerical order. It's sort of like the Sue Grafton's. A is for alibi, B is for burglary, I think. I haven't read those, but I just know the books. I just think those are wonderful, cozy mysteries. They're really lighthearted and they're just a lot of fun. So if you like cozy mysteries, I really like the Hannah Swenson series by Joanna Fluke and the Stephanie Plum series by Janet Ivanovich. Another one I have, and I just absolutely have loved this series for such a long time, is Murder, She Wrote. I have a book here. Ironically, this one, I just picked this one randomly at the, I have a small Books A Million in my mall. That used to be a Walden book, so it's really small. And this one is actually set in Columbia, South Carolina, which is like an hour away from me, so that's pretty cool. But here's the Murder, She Wrote books. And I think they're under Jessica Fletcher, which is the protagonist. So if you go to the bookstore, I think they're under Fletcher instead of, I think Donald Bain wrote the first 30 books. I don't know if he passed away or just retired, but now they have a few different authors. But I absolutely love Murder, She Wrote. They are cozy, lighthearted mysteries with a an older heroine, which I enjoy. I don't know if they really give her an age in the books. I know in season 1 of the show, Angela Lansbury, who plays Jessica Fletcher, was 59. So I'd assume to keep her probably like between 59 to like 63 or so for the books and show, for like the what's that called, like the Bible of the show. So I really do love Murder, She Wrote. It's one of my favorite shows. My cat was actually named Fletcher because of Murder, She Wrote, because I was such a big fan in middle school, which is really funny. But yeah, love Murder, She Wrote. So that's another great cozy mystery series. I do have a few historical romances to recommend. I know a few of my friends that are romance readers. They're typically more of the contemporary reader, or like a darker mafia or spicier level romance reader, but they do like to pick up historicals in the fall. And historical romances are probably my favorite of this subgenre of the romance category. And so I have 2 picks. One I have not read, but I think a lot of people will enjoy it, and that is the prequel series to the Bridgerton books. And this is the first one in the series, titled Because of Miss Bridgerton. Now, I think this might be the sister of, I can't remember his name, but like the father of the Bridgerton siblings. I think this is his sister, so I think it's their aunt. So it could be a great aunt. I'm not fully sure, but I think she's, an aunt or a great aunt, something like that. Or possibly grandmother. I don't think so. But this is the first in the series, Because of Miss Bridgerton. So if you're a fan of Bridgerton and didn't know that I think there's actually 2 spin-off series, and this is one of the newer ones. I think there's one that was before it, which is the Smythe Smith series. I think book 1 is Just Like Heaven. I'm not fully sure, but if you go on Amazon or your local bookstore or library, they should tell you the numerical order. But with most Bridgerton books, I don't think you really need to read them in order. I did, and I like that, just because you do get spoiled about who Mrs. Whistledown may or may not be. The show may or may not have done a different direction for the books. But here's the prequel series, and it's Because of Miss Bridgerton. I absolutely love this stunning green cover. And I mean, she is feeling herself, looking in the mirror. So just looks so fun. This was published, I think, in the 2016. So yeah, here's Because of Miss Bridgerton. Another historical romance that I have really loved, and I barely see people even talk about this book, and that is A Duke Worth Fighting For by Christina Britton. I loved this book so much. So, like I said, a lot of people have talked about this book, but it's a widow romance, it's a scarred hero, it's a virginal hero, and it was just super good. It's super romantic. There's a little bit of class difference. There's, just romance. There's a little bit of intrigue and drama involving the heroine's late husband and our hero. Just absolutely love this book. It is just one of my favorites, and I don't see people talking about this book, and it is really good. Bonus, it is purple, so that is always fun too, but I love this book. This was one, I think I either got it at Target or Walmart. I think Target, because I always pick up random historicals to read, and my mom asked my mom which one should I get, because there was a few. She's like, get this one because he's already shirtless, so it must be spicy. I was like, okay, works for me. And it was really good. So this is A Duke Worth Fighting For by Christina Britton. Now, another one that I would love to read at some point is, I think it's book 2 in the Wallflower series. I have book 1, which is Secrets of a Summer's Night, and book 2 is, I should have looked it up. It has autumn in the title, so I mean, it is very autumnal. So I don't know if you necessarily need to read the books in order. I have found that when I read the first of the Ravenel books, one thing I did not enjoy about that book was Lisa Kleypas does a main romance, and then she sets up a secondary romance to sort of form for book two, and then the third one has the second book has that secondary romance from book one, and then the intro into the third couple for book three. I don't really love that. I love when the couples get their own full book, and maybe just have like a little bit, like a snippet of something brewing between some side characters. But yeah. So the second book is, I think it's called It Happened One Autumn, maybe? I'm going to put the title and the cover here, but I think I would be very amiss if I'm doing an autumnal fall book recommendation and I didn't mention book two in the Wallflower series. So book one, I'll try to put a picture, is Secrets of a Summer's Night. And like I said, you may need to read it in order. I'm not fully sure. I have friends that are bigger Lisa Kleypas readers that are in the comment section. They can let you know or help me in the comment section know if you need to read them in order, if there's spoilers, etc. And yeah, so those are my historicals. And then I wanted to end with some lighthearted thrillers. The first one is one that's not mentioned a lot. It did win a big award in England, and that is the Costa Book Awards First Novel Award. And that is Elizabeth is Missing by Emma Healy. So I haven't read the book yet. It's been on my TBR a few times, but I need to get to it. But I have watched the movie. So there was a television movie on PBS that starred Glenda Jackson. She is one of my all-time favorite actresses. She's a double Best Actress winner, and people don't know about her. She won her first Oscar for 1969's Women in Love, and then like 3 years later, she won for A Touch of Class. And then she also won like Emmys and Golden Globes for her miniseries Elizabeth R, which was about Elizabeth I. And Glenda Jackson is just a tour de force. I absolutely love her. I think she's fabulous. She's a Tony Award winner. She's just an all-around fantastic actress. And this book was such a great adaptation for her to tackle as an actress. So it is a thriller, but it's not going to scare you. It's going to make you think but not overthink. And it's just a really cool story. So it's about a woman, and she has developed Alzheimer's. She is an elder woman. I don't know if she's like, Glenda Jackson was in her 80s or late 70s filming the movie, so I would assume the character from the storyline is in her 70s, probably her 80s. And her best friend is Elizabeth, and Elizabeth goes missing, and Maud is convinced that her friend has been kidnapped or murdered, or something is wrong with her. Something has gone wrong with her. Why is she missing? And this is all while our protagonist has Alzheimer's. Now, it is important to note that this is sort of a double mystery. So Maud's best friend Elizabeth is missing, and Maud, when she was a young girl, like a teenager, her sister went missing and was most likely murdered, but the body was never found. So there's a double mystery going on. We have an unreliable narrator because our narrator has Alzheimer's, so you can't necessarily take things for what they mean, what they're granted. Sort of like if you've read the book The Girl in the Train, that also had an unreliable narrator because our narrator was someone who had pretty severe alcoholism, and so they couldn't. Sorry everyone, my video got cut off. I didn't have that much time left. So as I was saying, in the book The Girl on the Train, we also had an unreliable narrator because our heroine was battling pretty severe alcoholism, so everything she said or might have seen and saw may not have actually been the truth. So in Elizabeth is Missing, we get a similar instance by having our narrator not necessarily be the best one to tell this story and mystery. So I really liked the movie, and I know it follows the book fairly well, and it's just a really good story, really good twists, and really interesting to have our main character have Alzheimer's and trying to solve the the mystery of her missing friend, as well as trying to unravel what did happen to her sister, 50 plus years ago. Another wonderful fall read that gives you that chilly, thriller, dark, gothic, slightly romantic story is also a classic. I know some people like to pick up classics in the fall, and I actually found this version of the book at Dollar Tree or Dollar and a Quarter Tree. And I was super happy because I really am weird. I am one that really loves to collect and get the movie tie-in covers. And so I got the tie-in cover for Rebecca at Dollar Tree. This is definitely a gothic romance or story. We have, oh goodness, what are their names? Mrs. Maxim de Winter. We have the husband. We have the ghost of Rebecca. This is, I believe, a modern retelling of Jane Eyre. So if you know, Jane Eyre goes to is it Rochester? Yeah, Mr. Rochester's house to be the governess for his ward, Adelaide. And, there might be a mad woman in the attic. So, this is just, as it says in the cover, a classic tale of romantic suspense. I would definitely like to read this book. So this is on my TBR. I think I'm going to put it on my October, maybe put it for late September and see where the month takes me. But I think this is just a wonderful book for fall vibes. Like I said, the thrillers and mysteries that I chose for this video, none of them are going to be graphic or very vengeful or violent. Now, there might be a little more violence in Rebecca, but granted, it was written either in the 30s or 40s, I believe the 30s. And so, you're not going to have too much of a drama, but just a wonderful story. Now, I really did like the original movie, which had Joan Fontaine and I think Orson Welles, maybe? Can't really remember. And I did like the remake with Lily James and Armie Hammer. He ate it up. That was bad. But, yeah. So it might be a little problematic with Armie Hammer. He might be a cannibal. Who knows? But Lily James gives a wonderful performance. And we also have, what is her name? She was in The English Patient. She's like a national treasure. Can't remember her name, but she gives a wonderful performance as this, sort of evil, witchy caretaker of the estate. So everyone, those are my picks for some cozy fall thriller romances. I hope everyone has had a wonderful day. Let me know, what is one of your favorite things to do during the fall/autumnal season. Let me know in the comments below. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all soon. Bye, everyone.